Joined here today by victorious Mouse Johns coming off that win, of course, UFC Vancouver over Cole Smith. Thank you so much for joining me, man. How are you?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. I'm doing good.
Of course, man. We're glad to hear it. Let's talk about the fight, of course. It was your first fight in the UFC. First things first, did you experience any of those famous octagon jitters?
I didn't feel too many octagon jitters. It was a great experience. Walking out, I could hear the crowd. Definitely, they were all having their little chant, a little Coltrane. And, I could hear people yelling from the crowd, go to kick your butt and stuff. But I was prepared for that, mentally prepared for that. I had my team next to me, Safe, Coach Safe, and my brother, Elijah. So I was comfortable, man. It was really the most relaxed I ever felt walking out to the fight. So it was good.
A lot of people they when they talk about the Contender Series, it's like that mini UFC debut. Did you feel a big difference from going from sort of the smaller gym to all of a sudden being on the big stage?
It was a different experience, but I think everything that I've done in my career prepared me for it, with LFA, fighting for a belt for them, and then fighting on the Contender Series this summer. I was just prepared, but it was definitely a different experience, man. Rogers Arena was just buzzing, and I was really just taking it all in and enjoying it, you know. So yeah, it was fun.
And I want to talk about your mentality a little bit. I mean, what's going through your mind when you're in the locker room about to make that debut, and what's going through your mind as you're walking to the cage? And like you mentioned, people are shouting things at you.
When I'm in the locker room, at first we're warming up. I'm just thinking about my body, just making sure I'm warming up all my muscles, making sure I'm getting a sweat going, making sure I'm running through everything in the game plan. And then after I feel like I got my sweat going and everything's good, at that point I try to just stop thinking about everything. All the work has been done, all the hard work, all the reps, all that's just done. I just try to be free. So I just a couple things, just tell my body, you're in shape, you're ready to go, the work's done, just mentally preparing for it, and just trying to reach that flow state where I'm not thinking and I'm just acting. And then when I'm walking out, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm taking things in, but at the same time, I'm just breathing and enjoying the moment, enjoying the whole process, and ready to go out there and do what I've trained to do. All the work's done at that point, so there's nothing else to think about, and I'm just ready to act.
And I'm curious about that flow state and ready to act like you mentioned. I mean, what is that? Is that sort of like a muscle memory from all your training? I mean, what's kind of going on there when you reach that flow state?
It is. I think it's a muscle memory. I think it's your subconscious is doing what you've prepared yourself to do. A lot of people, if you listen to a lot of Olympians and a lot of athletes from all sports, they talk about that state where you're just going and you don't really think about what's going on in the moment. And then when you look back at it, you can remember some things, but not others. You see it all the time at the highest level, and that's the state I'm trying to reach. I don't think I've really reached it in the cage yet. It's a process, but it's something that I'm definitely going for. And Jeff Neal's last fight, when he fought Nico Price, that headbutt kind of had him dazed and had him out of it a little bit. He said he didn't really remember the second round, but you saw him in the second round. His technique was still on point.
Yeah.
Everything was right there. That's the flow state, man. That's when you're just acting. That's a pure instinct. You've done all the work. Everything is there in your muscle memory, and you just act. You know.
And let's talk about the performance a little bit. Obviously, it was a good performance. It was a close fight, though. I mean, you've had about a week to reflect on it. How do you sort of look back at your performance?
I think it was a learning experience. I'm happy with the fight. At the same time, I think there's a lot of things that I could have done different in the fight. Cole was tough. I didn't really, I didn't really expect him to try to wrestle the entire time. I knew he was a good wrestler. I knew he was a good grappler, but I expected him to use his kicks and stuff and kind of keep me at distance. And then if I start getting inside, then start using his wrestling. So I was a little taken aback by him trying to wrestle the entire time, so that was good because I had to adapt in the cage. But overall, we got the job done, man. We got the W, so that's what matters at the end of the day. But I definitely still feel like I got a lot more to show and a lot more to prove out there, man. And I'm more hungry than I've ever been to get back in the cage. Before the fight, going through the grueling training camp and stuff, just coming off my Contender Series fight, I kind of thought that I was gonna be like, man, after this, I'll definitely don't want to fight again until 2020. But then right after that, I was like, man, January's a long time away. Maybe we can
Yeah.
squeeze one in before then. So I'm more hungry than ever. It was a great learning experience. I had a lot of fun in the third round when I finally got to let my hands go in that. My cardio felt great. Everything felt good. I didn't take damage. So overall, it was just a good learning experience, I would say.
And on Twitter, I mean, the scores were all over the place for the fight. I mean, media members, fans, everyone kind of had it all over the place. What's going through your mind when you're hearing the judges and you hear it's a split decision? I mean, are you still confident, or is there like a little bit of a doubt that kind of creeps in?
I was confident right after the fight. Like right when it ended, I ran around with my hands up. I felt like I did enough for the fight. I'm always going and looking at people's faces and seeing the reaction. Mix right there, Daniel Cormier's right there. Everybody, so I'm looking and they kind of giving me a nod like they thought I won as well. But you can see my face when I'm kind of listening to Bruce, and it was because he had a little stutter on the card, so I'm really just kind of hearing what he's saying and hearing what judges are scoring and which way. At the same time, though, like I'm confident, but I know we're in Vancouver. I know that it was a close fight. I know that I wasn't as urgent as I should have been in the first round, second round. I think the momentum changed in the second round. I'll give Cole the first round. I think I got the second. Close round though, still, as you heard Coach say in the corner. He got the first. That was a close round. They might have given it to him. We're in Vancouver. We need to go out there and steal the fight. Third round, I definitely think I went out there and stole the fight. So I was confident, but you know how the MMA game goes. You just never know. So I was still just waiting to hear my name be called. And when it was just a relief. So yeah, too close for comfort for me. I didn't feel like I felt like I could have definitely put a staple on that fight, put a stamp. But we're going back to work, back to the lab, and got a lot to show in the next fight.
And of course, we did talk after your successful Contender Series debuts, and one of the things you were telling me is that you had a few injuries, including something you suffered during the fight. How did you feel physically heading into this one? I mean, were you at 100%? I know fighters never truly 100, but how did you feel physically?
Yeah, I felt great, man. It was awesome. Yeah, the Contender Series fight actually completely tore my groin. I partially tore it before that fight, and then in the fight I completely tore it. Now it's great. There's a lot goes into that, but now I feel more free, more mobile than I've ever felt. And yeah, I felt great during that fight. I was healthy, so it's a huge blessing. I came out of it healthy. I'm back training now. Like a slight hand injury when it just happens when you're in there throwing with those little gloves on. But I'm back training. My Dr. Mann, my physical therapist, is taking care of me. So it's awesome, man. I love being able to come out of fights healthy. So it's awesome.
And one thing I want to talk to you about is a little bit different. We know with fighters we always talk about fighting, but one thing we saw recently was a video that came out of how you have your own dog breeding business. I believe you work with Golden Doodles. Are you still currently doing that?
Yes, we are still currently doing that. We have a litter right now that's almost ready to go home. Well, we just sent one puppy home today, actually, so they're all going to be going home within the next week. But yeah, me and my wife do that. We raise Golden Doodles, and I also do some training on the side with my brother. At 8 weeks, if people want some training, potty training, and basic commands, and we'll keep them for a little bit longer and do that training. So it's great. It's like we're able to stay at home. I absolutely love dogs. I love the Golden Doodles. I love working with them. I'm able to do it from home, like I said, with my kids here and everything. So it's been a great thing to have on the side of fighting.
And I'm curious, I mean, how does someone like you kind of get it? I mean, first of all, the breed Golden Doodles is definitely something pretty unique. How do you sort of get into that? And at what point did you decide, like, breeding was something that you could manage along with your fight career?
It's actually my mother-in-law. She's been doing it for a really long time, like 10 plus years. She's a master at it. I mean, she knows so much ins and outs of it. So when my wife and I moved down here, it was just something that we wanted to do on a real low scale. We just want to have a couple litters, and it ended up working out pretty well. We loved it. We got good. My wife's already been working with her mom for years and years, so she knows so much about it already. And we ended up buying our own house, and we were able to get a couple more moms, and yeah, it just worked out. We're still very small scale. We have like 4 moms that we rotate and breed in that. And one of them just went home. We're retired. One of them, she just went to a family friend to stay there. She's done. So we're pretty small scale, but they've been doing it for a long time, and I worked with them at their ranch before I was even with my wife. So we've been around it. We kind of just started it and then kept going with it pretty much.
And I'm curious, what are people's reactions when they find out you do that? I assume half of it is just people trying to get a free puppy, super irresponsible. I mean, what's people's reactions when they find out?
Most of the time, I get a little bit. They kind of make fun of me a little bit for doing golden doodles, but I'm completely fine with that. I'm confident, so it doesn't really. It is kind of funny. Um, but it's I get good reactions and just people just kind of interested in it, and it's been fun.
Yeah, I assume as a fighter, they assume you got to do like pit bulls, Dobermans, Rottweiler, like like a man's
Right,
dog.
exactly. Exactly. But we love the golden doodles. Hypoallergenic and they're in great demand right now. So yeah, I'm real happy that we do that breed, and I have my own. I have two, and best dogs in the world. So
For sure. And you do train, coming back to fighting, you do train at Fortis MMA, which is quickly growing into one of the biggest gyms in the world. I mean, do you feel like the gym's finally getting the recognition it needs, or does it still need to getting highlight reel knockouts like we saw yesterday before people truly start to take notice?
I think it's getting the recognition it needs. I mean, of course, we're going to just continue to grow and continue to get better, and we want to be known as the best gym in the world right now. I think there's some talks when people are saying that we're the current best team, but we still don't have a belt, and we're just going to keep working. We're going to get belts. We're going to do all that stuff. And we're really doing the same thing we've always been doing. We thought that we were the best team in the world when we were fighting. All of our guys were in Legacy, and then that moved to LFA. Like just a year and a half ago, we had like one fighter in the UFC, and we still thought we were the best team in the world. And time tells all, man. We're there. We're working hard. Coach Safe is pushing us. We got a great team in Dallas with our strength conditioning coach, Coach Mike. All the high-level guys go there. And then our physical therapist, Dr. Mann, is in the same building as our strength conditioning. So we'll go strength conditioning, straight to see our physical therapist. And I go do mitts with Macy Chiason, with Coach Bagby, our MIG guys. So it's just like everybody's working together for one common goal. And it's starting to show on the global scene, but we're just getting started. You saw Ocho with that highlight reel knockout. I mean, sick. I mean, this man has worked so hard. Like, I mean, it's crazy. So many ups and downs in his career. It just kept going. So many people counted him out, and he just kept pushing through. It kept going, and now look at him. I mean, even in that first round, in the first round didn't really go his way, but I saw the momentum change it, and I was like, man, this dude's in for a long fight, and he doesn't have the fight in him that Ocho has because he's just worked for it, man. And he was not going to go out there easily, and he did push through some adversity in that fight and ended up getting that highlight reel knockout. And now he's made history for himself. Seven spinning back fists in the UFC history. I mean, that's something that never goes away. Never goes away. So it's amazing to see that. And we're just all riding off each other's energy, man. And we're, as a team, we're going to continue to win, and we're going to make history as a team, together.
For sure, and I talked to Jeff Neal about this. It was, I think, like a month or two ago, but it seems you guys are going to be moving to a new facility. Has that happened yet? I mean, what's kind of the timeline on that?
It hasn't happened yet. It's in the works. Fortis MMA HQ. I think we'll still do our normal training at the gym that we're at right now, but that's just going to supplement. It's going to have our meal company, Fit Meals Prep. They pretty much take care of all fighters during the fight camp, so then other people are going to be able to go there and get their meals there. And it's going to just have another gym, more to it. But it hasn't happened yet, but it's in the works. We're just in dorms for other fighters when they want to come and do a camp with us. They'll have dorms for them to stay at and stuff. So we're going to continue to grow, man, and we want to be that. We want to be the best team in the world. That's it.
For sure. I have just two more for you, kind of a two-part question. When do you expect to return? You mentioned one return for 2020, and ideally, who would you like next?
I'm just kind of waiting to see what my coach says. He's gonna talk to Sean Shelby and Dana and see what they have planned. I would love to return before the year's up. If not, then right after the new year would be awesome. As far as who's next, I mean, the bantamweight division is buzzing right now. There's so many fights that I think would be awesome. So I'll just kind of wait and see what he has planned for me and go from there.
All right, well, thanks so much for the time, man. I really appreciate it. Congratulations on that victory, man. It's good to see you make your UFC debut.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate the time from you.